Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about The Hallow, which is an Irish film that came out in 2015, and it's been requested for me to review it, not as much as other films in the past, but I've seen a few requests for it, so we're going to do it. Also, if there's like a really popular movie coming out or something that you want me to review, make sure to leave it down below. I am going to go see The Darkness soon, so I'll review that as soon as I can. I'm going to start off by saying that this is one of those movies that I saw and then proceeded to ask my roommate if we could watch it. And he was like, we already saw that. I do that a lot with movies. I'll watch them and then I'll ask someone, oh, did you see the trailer for this? And they'll be like, we watched the movie. I don't know why I have such a bad memory with some movies. It's just really weird. Now the director describes this movie as Straw Dogs meets Pan's Labyrinth, which I've never seen Straw Dogs, but if I should, let me know. I don't know what it is, but obviously we know about Pan's Labyrinth though, and I love that film, so I don't know if it's a stretch or not, because it wasn't I mean, it's not supposed to be a copy anyway, but that's kind of what the director's inspiration was for it. This stars Joseph Mawle, who was also in Game of Thrones, and the director actually said that he's a big fan of his and wrote the script with him in mind and wanted him to be cast as the main guy. I did think the acting was really, really good. The storyline, okay, well this movie is a creature feature. If you didn't know, if you haven't seen a trailer or just coming in blind to this review and never knowing about it, it's a creature feature basically, which those usually aren't my favorites, which is kind of ironic because Alien is one of my favorite like series of all time. But is that technically a creature feature? It's kind of it's an alien movie. Anyway, usually I'm more into the paranormal, supernatural, ghosty, even serial killer movies. Those are kind of like my thing. So going into it, I was like, oh, it's a creature feature. I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much. Which clearly, if I didn't remember it, I didn't like it that much, but I did like it, I'm gonna tell you. I thought the scares were really, really good, and you can see some of them in the trailer, like when he's using the camera to look around the forest, which is kind of cliche to me. I think there's a lot of cliche things happening in this film, but overall I thought it was really scary, so that was good. So the plot is basically this couple and their child move to this house, and people are like warning them about this curse that's happening. I don't know. Basically his job is to go into the forest and study the trees. I don't know what kind of job that is, but that's his job, and he goes into the forest and people are like, you're pissing off the creatures or whatever is in the forest. Can you please not do that? He doesn't listen to them. Obviously he doesn't believe them, much like I wouldn't, and continues to do that. The creatures want human children. That's like their thing that they eat or possess, or I don't really know. But what I liked is that this didn't turn into an action sort of horror film, because that would have happened if the baby was abducted like earlier in the film and then they were on like the hunt to get the baby back, but they actually didn't take the baby until like later in the film. So it's kind of them running away from the things, which is kind of scarier than more of an action like facing each other head on, if that makes any sort of sense. This is definitely a much more plot heavy kind of horror movie and with good scares in it, so it's very story driven, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes I mean most of the time those are really good. It'd be challenging though if it's not done right with the right actors, with the right script and everything, but I did think this was really well done. So I'm gonna start going into some spoilers and kind of what happens at the end and my thoughts on that and everything, so if you don't want to know, then stop watching the video. But it is on American Netflix, and if it's on any other Netflix, leave it in the comments, but do check it out. I think it's pretty good for the scares. So with the ending, basically the baby is abducted, as you know, and then there's two babies. There's one like that the mom thinks is the real baby and it's not, and then the dad has the real baby. It's just kind of confusing at that part, and I think that's why I just like forgot all this plot. The dad gets attacked earlier in the film, so he's starting to turn into one of these things. I don't even know what they are. They're like an animal zombie thing, but he uses that in his power to help save his wife and his child by kind of pushing them off, by threatening them, because he's one of them basically inside, and so he has that kind of violence. So he's threatening them to like stay away from his wife and kid. So I thought the ending was kind of cheesy with him just kind of dying, because he dies, spoiler alert. And then he dies content because he sees his wife and child escape from them and like go on with their lives, and so he's like, I can die now. I liked the beginning of the film. I liked the story build up and everything, and I loved that we didn't see too much of the creatures until later in the film. I thought that added so much creep factor, because you're like, oh my god, did you see that? Like it's just a flash of something when he's using the camera thing, and that was really good. So starting off the movie, I thought it started off really, really strong. It has some cliches, and then it ended pretty poorly in my opinion. Overall though, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, just because the scares are really good, the acting, everything was really well done. It's just the storyline lacked towards the middle and end of the film. If you've seen The Hallow, make sure to leave your thoughts down below, and also request any other movies that you want me to review. Sorry, I've been on a little hiatus hiatus, but school is almost done. I'm going into finals week right now, so once this video's up, we'll be out and we'll be in the clear. I can post more often. Also, let me know if you want me to start a new segment like Freddy Fridays like we were gonna do. If you haven't seen those already, I will link the playlist down below, like Saw Sundays and things like that. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.